welcome to Amby Marie Knits, episode 115. My name is Amber. Welcome to my crafty channel where I talk about what I am knitting, spinning, crocheting, sewing, and whatever else I happen to do. Usually it's within those things, so. Happy August 1st. Yay. October even, if you're a person who likes the Halloween stuff. Yay, we're closer. I like Halloween. I'm not obsessed with it, but I love watching people who are obsessed with it. I don't know, it makes me smile. But that's beside the point. So, what we have today is some finished objects, some why didn't you finish these before you recorded objects, future cast-ons, acquisitions, spinning. Tour de Fleece, technically over, Tour de Femmes is going on. We'll get to that in a bit. So, finished objects. We are going to start with socks, because I finished both of my Sock Week socks. Not both pairs in time for Sock Week, but that's fine. These socks, there are two of them. Look, isn't that awesome? Yarn, dyed by me. Pattern is modified DRK everyday socks. By modified, I mean I did not do the ribbing. I did them plain vanilla, but I still did the Flegel heel. Look how good that heel is. I need to make myself a pair of these. I don't wear a lot of hand knit socks. I like making them though. But I've tried these on and they're not for me, but they fit really good. I really like this heel. So definitely recommend trying this out, whether you like the all over ribbing or not. Yarn dyed by me, I said that already. I knit these on size 1 needles, which is 2.25 millimeter. I usually don't do a 1x1 rib. I prefer my 2x2 rib, but I love the Italian bind off. And yeah, that's what we did. So yay, 2 pairs of socks. Well, I finished 2 pairs, but here's 2 socks. So that's the first set. Okay, second finished object, more socks. These are awesome looking. Okay, these are the Totally Rad Rib Socks by Summerly Designs. There we go. That looks really cool. These are made with Fangirl Fibers, the boy bands collection. Sorry if you hear the train outside. It's been sitting for like the past day and a half. It's noisy. I made these on size 1s US. No, I made the cuff on size 0 2mm needles. Didn't realize I was using that. I don't like them. Switched to a 1 US 2.25 millimeter. So these socks are awesome. My first Christmas present is done, and I did finish them in July. If you like Christmas in July. Because I got done yesterday. And yeah, these are pretty fun. They're fun to make. So I got 1 each of these socks done for Sock Week, and then I finished the rest of them both yesterday. Actually, I got them done. So very happy. So that's that finished object. I do have one other finished object. Doing a thing at work that, nope, not that one. Need mindless knitting. So my favorite mindless knitting is photographer hats. I am not caught up with Aquila, the Lefty Knitter podcast. I think she said either 23 or 32. She's made a lot of these hats. I think this is 13 and I'm working on 14, I think. This is a pattern by Lavanya Patricella. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. She actually has 3 different versions of this pattern, all free. She has a bulky, a worsted, and a sport. I use DK usually, or fingering weight held double. This is fingering weight held double. And it is 2 colors of Malabrigo sock. I don't know the color names, but they were leftovers from that blur cardigan I made. And I love this hat pattern because it's free, so I can tell you, you cast on the stitches, you do 6 inches of ribbing, 4 inches of plain, and the crown decreases, and you're done. So, it's a gazillion degrees, but let's put a hat on. Or, if you're Johnny Bow, you would wear it like this. There we go. I guess it looks okay. I don't know. I don't like hats. I like to make hats. Wearing hats, it has to be like under 0 degrees Fahrenheit for me to wear a hat outside. I'll wear a shawl over my head before I do that. But yeah, so this one's fun. I started it Monday the 28th, finished it this morning, actually, during my Zoom. But yeah, it's fun. I like it. I really like the way the colors marled together. It's pretty nifty. Okay, so that is all the actual finished knitting objects. Now, I have 2 objects that you're going to be like, Amber, why didn't you finish those? I'm like, well, because I needed to record now, not later. So, the one that is the closest to being done, this is a classic can cozy by Natalie of Knitty Knitty. And you just put a can of whatever in there, soda or anything else. And I have this much left to finish it. This yarn is, you're never going to guess, this is the Boy Bands collection from Fangirl Fibers. I really like this color though. It's like the yellow with the little bits of pink and orange. Oh, that blew that out a lot. There we go. And then I decided to do a contrast for the I-cord on the top. So this will be finished today. There's no reason for me not to finish this today, unless I get distracted, because that happens too. So that is the first whip. The second whip is, you may have figured this out what I was saying earlier, it is another photographer hat. This one is actually ready to start the decreases, and I'm hoping I have enough yarn for it. So this one is finger and weight held double, but I use 2 separate colors that you can really tell. I really love how this looks. Yarn used. This is some yarn I dyed forever ago. I have plenty of that to do the crown. I'm not concerned there. What I am concerned about is the other skein is a ball of Patons Croix in black. And I think I have more of this, but I only have this much left. And I have to do the entire crown. It might be enough. It might not be enough. If it's not enough, then I have to decide if I want to make it all the other color or find another ball. We'll see. This will not be done tonight. I just have other stuff I need to get done, like editing this and getting it uploaded tonight. I know it's late. Usually it's done by now. It's already after 5 on Friday night, but at least I'm getting it going. Schedule changes at work. We're going to do what we can. But yeah, I really like how this one looks. The colors. So that's that one. That is all of my official whips. The next one we're going to talk about, though, is a future cast on, and I did the swatching for. So I don't consider that a whip because I have not cast on the actual thing, but I did start swatching it. So I did mention last week that a new cast on is going to be the Ginny cardigan by Sosu Knits. And it is yarn from Mosaic Moon to sample because that's what I do. So we got some swatches. Okay. That's the right side. This is the wrong side. These swatches look really different. Let's talk about them. Are they big enough? No, but good enough. So the yarn in the pattern is worsted weight is what was used. I think it calls for maybe like a DK gauge. I don't know. It's like 20 stitches per inch. 20 stitches for 4 inches is the gauge, but that is measured across the garter and the brioche. So a little bit interesting there. But they use worsted weight. So the yarn I have is sport weight. So I held it double on the size 4 needles, and this is the gauge swatch I got. So I ended up getting approximately 16 stitches per 4 inches as opposed to 20. Okay, too big. Sport weight, we're going to see what happens. So let's try it just held single. So I got 18 stitches for 2 inches. Sorry, 18 stitches for 4 inches. 9 stitches for 2 inches on the size 4s. Which means it's still too small or too big. It's still too big, so I need to go down another needle size. I'm probably not going to. I'm just going to adjust the size that I make to make sure it fits the person that it's supposed to go for. But it's very drapey. I definitely like this fabric better. This is too thick. Like, it's cozy, don't get me wrong, but this is too thick. This is what you want for a cardigan. So yeah, that'll be coming soon. I don't know when. This sample does not have a deadline other than the personal deadline of before the end of the year. That is my goal on this one. So hopefully I will start it this month, but it is not going to be a high priority because other things I'm making will be a high priority. So that is going to segue into another future cast on and some acquisitions. Kind of acquisitions. So I think I've showed you this one already, but one of my samples I'm going to be making is this Wild Horses sweater by Pop Knit. There's an actual name, it'll be down there. But yes, so I know it's in black and white, but it's really cool looking. and it's got some techniques I've not done a lot of, so I'm really excited to make this. And this will be started, I would love to start this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to have time for that, but I might. So, the yarn we're going to use, would you like to guess whose yarn it is? If you guessed Fangirl Fibers, you are correct, because that's who the sample is for. So, you're going to hear crinkles, because I don't want to take this out of the package. Yeah, I'm not taking it out. Sorry, y'all. Okay, took it out of the package for less crinkles. So, this yarn is Fangirl Fibers. I don't know the colorway names. They don't matter. This is going to be gorgeous. So, we have this gray, which I really do like this color. And then we have this, like, unicorn-y. I think that sweater, I think they look more like unicorns and horses. It's called Wild Horses. But the way the pattern goes, they look more like unicorns. But they're going to be in the dark color, and the background color is the lighter one. But it's going to have these neon pops, and it's going to be amazing. So like I said, I am not going to put these back up because I'm going to probably wind these. Like I said, probably not tonight, but tomorrow. So that way I can make my swatch and see how this is going to go. Because that is an all-over colorwork sweater. I think the armholes are steeped. Haven't done that yet. So it's going to be fun. So excited to cast that on. So, sorry I have to move that to get at my notes. Okay. So that is all the actual knitting content. Now we're going to go into some spinning. We're going to actually do an acquisition and then go into spinning because we just did acquisition, so we're going to keep it up. So one of the things I also got that I get to spin, we're not taking this out of the package. That is more pink than red. So it's really not as Christmassy as it looks. But I got fiber to spin. So I'm going to take a break on spinning for a little bit because I finally finished my Tour de Fleece stuff. So I am making another vlog for the final wrap up. I don't know when that's going to come out. Maybe just later on this weekend. I still have to record stuff for that. But things that I finished. I did finish. This was done on my Nano, which didn't work for a minute, but then it did work when I decided to try it. Somebody told me maybe it was just too humid and things weren't working right because of that. This is about a ½ ounce of Shetland. This came all the way from Scotland. Thank you for letting me try this out. And this is where I was attempting a woolen spun yarn, which I would say it mostly is. I failed at long draw. I did a hybrid short forward. So it was like pull and then you let the twist come back into it. I don't know. But this is approximately 38 yards. Has not been washed or anything like that. But still, it's just a cute little mini skein. Now, the big one, which is finished as of like an hour ago. I have 2 skeins right here. This is approximately, hold on, let me look at my notes. So we have 4.6 and 5.1. So we're going to round up to 9.8 because there's some decimals. So we have just shy of 10 ounces of fiber. Guess how much yardage I got. This is sport weight. So yardage is, hold on, let me see which skein is which because I did the ties differently. Where are the ties on it? Why are they hiding? I'm going to guess and say this is the first skein that I did. So this one is 4.6.23 ounces. Unwashed 518 yards. I actually checked my grist. I found a grist calculator. That was cool. But yeah, so sport weight. So yeah, 518 yards here. Sport weight. And this one is the bigger, chunkier one. This one is the one that is 5.13 ounces. And it is 572 yards, which is also sport weight. That means that between the two of these, I have 1,090. Math is fun on the fly. So I have 1,090 yards. Trying to figure out what I want to make with this. And I don't know because the colors don't blend well. Like, they're very abrupt. So they're not bad. Like, it's still cool looking. But I could make a pentapullover out of this by James Watts. Tempting. No promises. We will see. Not anything soon. I am planning on getting these washed, thwacked, snapped, whatever I want to do, dried tomorrow. So that is a goal, assuming the weather stays nice. I think it's supposed to. Speaking of the weather, it's not hot. Okay, it is hot, but it's not like go outside and the sun's going to kill you hot. We actually got a little cold front in, and we're staying in like the mid-80s, and the humidity is not atrocious. So hopefully wherever you're at, it's getting better too, at least for a day or two, because it's still August. We're not done with summer. Okay, so that is that. Is that all the crafting content? I think that's all the crafty stuff I have. We can go ahead and move into books. As far as books go, I've been reading my little stuff on the Kindle, like not a lot. So, because I finished all my big books that I was reading. Inked in Ashes by Shannon Mayer. You've already seen that. I'm kind of reading it. I have not touched Dragons and Aces by J.G. Gates. I am 65% done with that. I'll get there. I'm also 64% with the Shannon Mayer, so I don't know. I did start listening to a new book, actually yesterday morning, to help me get through this spin. I will put a picture of it here. It is Priest, A Love Story by Sierra Simone. I've only got like 3 hours left in it, just over half done. It's not very long. So, not necessarily my normal book. Whatever, there's no such thing as a normal book nowadays. I will say, if you listen to Lights Out, I feel like you would like this one because it is mostly read by the male character, and his inner monologue is not as entertaining as Josh from Lights Out, but it is very close. Like it's close enough that I think if you like Lights Out, you would like this book as well. So, an option for you. Life and Stuff. Oh, I went to the river yesterday for like 20 minutes. Picture, video, something will be at the end. I didn't stay for long. We did not get in the water because there was a cold front. It was not sweltering hot. But, you know, there's something to be said about sitting by the water, even just for 20 minutes, and just kind of enjoying the peace. So that was my highlight of my week, I guess. Now we have the weekend, which I am planning on finishing things. Didn't mention this. If I finish the can cozy and that hat before I cast anything else on, that leaves me with 0 whips. Okay, we have my Jelly Roll Forever blanket, but that doesn't count. But yes, if I finish both of those, I will have 0 whips on the needles until I cast something new on. I know I have more socks I have planned. There'll probably be more hats. I don't know. We'll see what time and work allows. So that's all I've got. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. I don't know what it is. If I'm forgetting it, I will tell you next time. That being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. Please like, subscribe, all that whatever stuff if you would like to. And I'll see you next time.